Hey everyone, thanks for hopping on this Zoom. I have now called it Best Practice Tuesday, and I just really want to be transparent with you guys on exactly everything that I'm doing in my business. And honestly, it's Sarah, whatever Sarah's doing in her business too. Her and I Zoom daily, and we just talk and we brainstorm and we figure out ways to move our own businesses forward, and then ways we can help you guys move your businesses forward. So today it's going to be on boot camps or challenge groups. And I actually just went live in Team Rockstar Fit about hitting Success Club. And don't call it a boot camp if that's not your style. Did you guys know that Team Happy and Fit was called Team Extreme when I first started? Does that even reflect anything of who I am? Like, Team Extreme? No, like, it just wasn't a good fit. And then as soon as I was like, that's just not me. I love this Choose Happiness candle. Oh wait, Choose Happy and Fit. That just like Happy and Fit. That just sounds more like me. That's why I call my challenge groups boot camps, because it's so my mentality. If you know me, Eric is so encouraging during workouts and I get so annoyed by it. And it's so funny because most of the population of the world would be so inspired and so thankful and just so loving back. And I'm just like, can you please not give me a high five? Like, I don't even want to hear how good of a job I'm doing, because I'm so wanting to be in the zone in my own head because there's a battle going on in there. And that's why Sean T is my favorite trainer, because he's so intense, so fast, all these things. And I was like, my jam is a boot camp. Like, doesn't that sound like Sean T would run a boot camp? Challenge group, it's like not my thing. So maybe yours is like a retreat, right? Or maybe you don't even have challenge group attached to it. Maybe you don't even have boot camp attached to it. Maybe it's just called whatever the theme is. But I just want you to think outside the box and own who you are when you are running these boot camps, challenge groups, whatever. Does that make sense? Like, you have the freedom to get really creative and decide how you want to do it. And I think when you see me, you might be like, I have to call mine a boot camp in order to be successful. No, that's might be the thing you're missing, is that once you own you, that's when you're going to be successful, right? You can get an idea and run with it and then make it your own, and it's going to be awesome. So I want to teach you and tell you about my boot camps, but here's something I really want to be honest with you on, and Sarah is probably going to be laughing at this. I don't need challenge groups. Me personally, now, 3 years into my journey, I don't need it. My very first 4-day challenge group, I ended up losing 7 pounds. My very first one. It was awesome. I needed it. It was the game changer for me. And then now doing this every single month for myself, I don't need a challenge group in order for me to get things done, because I've created such a habit in my life that I am going to work out. I am going to stay on track. I am going to do this because of how it makes me feel. So I was just kind of like dreading them, and I was still doing them because success doesn't play favorites. It doesn't play secrets. Like, I know I need to do that. And then it made me parallel it to this. People who love the gym might be totally against Beachbody On Demand or Beachbody in general. Maybe CrossFit people. And they'll say, but I love CrossFit. I love the gym. And this is my response to them. Guess what? It's a tool in your tool belt. What happens when it snows a lot and you can't go to the gym? And you're only making it about you. What, you're geographically bound to that gym. What about the person across the country that can't go to your gym? You're going to give them the tools of Beachbody On Demand, right? Stop making it about you. Keep going to the gym. Keep going to CrossFit. Keep doing your thing. I actually just had a conversation with one of Lisa's challengers who's going to be an awesome coach one day. At least I don't even know if I told you this. I like messaged her. I was like, you need to be a coach. You're so encouraging. And she's like, I go to a gym. And I'm like, great. Like, you're going to be an awesome coach. And I explained to her why she'd be an awesome coach, because she shouldn't make it about her. She needs to make it about them. So then it got me to think, shoot, I need to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, because here I am being like, challenge groups, they're not for me. Then I'm like, dude, Julianne, you're making this all about you. You may not need a challenge group, but your people do. So maybe you have the mindset of, I'm going to freaking help people in there. I'm going to really go for it in there. I'm really going to spend a lot of time in there. I'm really going to make it awesome in there, because maybe you don't need it anymore, but you know what? Someone does. I think of my friend Sarah Scott, who's going to become a coach, who is in there, who's worked out 2 days in a row, who went to the store, has always picked up sweets and put them down today. She messaged me, texted me, and said, I had a freaking huge victory today. And she didn't buy anything sweet, even though she was wanting it so bad. She needs my challenge group. So with boot camps, with challenge groups, retreats, whatever you want to call them, we need to not make it all about us. Does that make sense? But then on the flip side of it, do make it about you. Maybe a little confusing, but let me explain. This is how you're going to get reignited with being really excited about this, is that your challenge group should be focused solely on what you need in your life. And what I mean by that is your people need it too. Your avatar, your person who you want to work with will love this. So for example, I just got a dog. And I was like, I'm going to run. I don't know what to do. Like, how often do you take out dogs? Like, what food do you get a dog? Like, am I allowed to interact with other dogs? Like, what, I don't even know a leash. Like, what, I need the poop bags. Like, oh my gosh, there's a lot. And I was like, okay, I don't want to like do this all over social media all the time. I'm going to make a dog mom boot camp. And I did a new dog mom boot camp, a rescue dog mom boot camp, right? And in that boot camp, I would just ask questions. I was like, man, guys, like, what do I do for this? Can I take him to the dog park yet? Like all this stuff. They said no, and I should have waited, but I went today anyway, and he did great. So it was like a proud mommy moment. But anywho, they have been really helpful to me. So I was thinking even beyond that of like, dang, my spiritual life has been weak, guys. Like it's been so weak. And I realized I need to run a boot camp on getting back into my Bible. Guess what? When I posted about how I gotten off track with my faith, people messaged me and they said, I gotta admit something to you. I was like, what? And they're like, I got off track. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, there's something to this, right? What about people who don't make their bed in the morning? And you really want to, because did you know successful people make their beds in the morning? You might be like, Julianne, what? Dang it. Like, I don't make my bed. No, truly, like, if you make your bed in the morning, it really sets you up for success. So maybe you're struggling with that. You should run a boot camp on it. You can do a 5-day one of like 5 days in a row of making your bed, or you can make it a freaking 14-day challenge group on making your bed every single morning and then incorporating nutrition and fitness. It sounds simple, sounds silly, but if it's something you struggle with, it's going to set the tone of your day, right? I have this Unfunk Yourself boot camp. I was in a straight up funk this last month. Didn't tell a whole lot of you, but now I'm going to start talking about it. In a funk, kind of moody, a little weird, just like kind of like I don't even know how to explain it, just not really feeling passionate and just feeling kind of sorry for myself. And I'm out of that and I'm just like, I'm going to do a boot camp on getting out of funks. Because I got out of a funk. My person's going to need to know how to get out of a funk, right? Another one that I have is, the faith one. I'm going to do you are worth more than rubies. And I'm going to gift everybody my devotion. So that's going to be the gift that I send them for that week. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, Sarah's doing drop the cookie. So she is really talented with making sweets. So she is going to make a boot camp specifically on making sweet treats that are healthy. So right now, what is it that maybe you travel a lot? So maybe it's the Traveler's Guide to a Healthy Life. I just made that up just right out. That was pretty good. Right? So like think about, maybe it's like showering every day. I know it sounds silly, right? Maybe it's a relationship one. Maybe it's simply just getting ready for each day, or self-care, personal development, but get even more specific. I'm doing a no scroll boot camp, meaning anyone who scrolls, right? Do I need to shower every day? I know. I was like, how often should I give my dog baths? And I'm like, I like rarely take one. So like he could go like 2 weeks, right, without it. Another question in my dog mom boot camp. But you're going to start feeling more passionate based on the things that you're doing. And it doesn't have to be this free group. So I never run free groups. I did in the beginning. And I mean, seriously, guys, for like 2.5 years, I never ran free boot camps. I did when I started, and then now I'm starting to incorporate it a little bit. But I truly believe a challenge pack is going to change lives. I speak with that conviction. I am about it because I get Shakeology every single day. I do Beachbody On Demand every single day. I think that that's what works. So I'm so convicted of that. However, I was like, dang, maybe I should spice it up a little bit and do like where it's not really based on fitness and nutrition. right? So maybe you could do a 5-day, but what I get nervous about with the free days is that you're not going to transition them into a regular challenge with the challenge group. And if you think about it, you really are spending time, energy. This is a business, and you don't just want to treat it like a volunteer only business or a discount business. Like, you want to treat it like a business, right? But at the same time, the way you're going to get people to maximize results, you guys, is them getting a challenge pack. Straight up, that's how I feel. So maybe you're kind of like crutching on the free group. So that's why I'm a little nervous to talk about that. I just really want you to understand that free groups are meant to transition. Free groups are meant to transition them into something more energy, more life, more abundance, more positivity, more community, right? More like health, happier relationships. So what can you do to dig deeper, but also what can you do to send that signal and that message that this isn't, I mean, anytime I were to run a boot camp that was free and I didn't transition everybody, guess how many of those people don't have results right now, right? Like, I have a lot of people who had done the free stuff, but they never actually did anything about it beyond that, because people look for the free or the medium. They never go with the large, right? If you're like looking, if I was going to get an ice cream cone, you guys know I love ice cream. And if there's a small, medium, a large, I'm not going to ever pick the large, and sometimes I'll pick the small, but I'll go with the medium. So if you're doing a free, that's kind of like the small, right? Challenge pack is the medium, and then they could do like the kickstart, jumpstart, whatever, like more. That this challenge pack is such a freaking steal. Communicate that. How do you make that in your life, budget, whatever? Talk about that. When people are like, it's too expensive, be like, yeah, man, like, I know, but I actually stopped going to Starbucks. Or I made it work by doing it like this, and I've changed my life. So let me show you a couple of things, but I really want you to brainstorm, like brain dump, like what can I do? My friend Brittany McMillan just did a mason jar group where she taught them how to make meals in mason jars, not just lunches. She taught them how to make snacks. Yep, that's right. It was like the peanut butter was at the bottom, and then all the celery sticks were on the top of it. She taught them how to do the breakfast, snacks, dinners, lunches, like all these things. And it was a 5-day group that she did to transition them into something more. I thought it was brilliant. You could even make that a 14-day and you gift them the mason jar, right? You give them like one or whatever. So just start thinking about what are the things that you need in your life. Maybe it's meditation time. Maybe it's a walk outside, like walk for 30 minutes a day challenge, like all these different things. But I want you to be passionate about it. Make groups not about you, but about you and what you need in your life, but make it about the person who's going to be joining. So what I do to break down my day and my month is I have a plan. So my groups, you guys, I have them all laid out with a date beyond even this month and next month. So my biggest piece of advice is this: have a plan and attack it. So I have my challenge group that just started on Monday. I have one starting on the 4th. I have a 5-day Shake It Up challenge on the 11th, and I have another one starting on the 18th. I have never done so many groups before, but this is what I thought of. If I create duplicatable systems, I can make this happen. If I spend time in my business the way it should be spent, I won't be wasting time and then all of a sudden feeling pressured, right? And if I stop scrolling the freaking news feed, I'll have more time to put into my challenges. So I always have something to invite to. I'm not saying do 3 challenge groups a month. If you know me, you know that that is like not my jam. But I'm starting to see the value in this because I'm having a lot of fun with it, actually. So I want you to think about this. Do you run a free, fun, like, let's drink our water 5-day group? And then 2 weeks from that, you're starting your other group. Whatever it is, always know what you're inviting to. I was having a conversation today with a coach, and I said, what are you inviting to? And they're like, nothing. And I said, that's why this is going to be hard for you if you want to hit this goal, because you need to know what you're inviting to. For me, my goal is to be at SC20. Right now I'm at SC12. My group started on Monday. So I was like, what do I need to do? I need to have a group starting on the 4th. So that's why I made another group, right? And then as you do this, so as you plan this out, I always like to do 2 weeks worth of inviting, or a month to 2 weeks. So if I have a group that's starting on the 4th, that's what I'm inviting to. That's my no scroll boot camp. I'm going live about it. I'm posting about how I'm trying not to scroll the newsfeed. I'm not just saying what, but I'm talking about why I need it. I'm talking about what I've done to not do it. I'm telling them how I'm going to help them through this. I'm telling them what I've done to have a clearer schedule, more time, all this stuff. Those are my posts that are breadcrumbing this group with an invite. I have an event page for my No Scroll Bootcamp. And then when the 4th happens, when it is September 4th, I am inviting to the 18th challenge, which is You Are Worth More Than Rubies. So that gives me 2 weeks to invite to that one. Does that make sense? So on the 4th, I'm going to make another event page on You Are Worth More Than Rubies Bootcamp. That 5-day in there is going to be all private messages and not posts. For people who've told me no in the past, follow-ups, things like that. Hey, did you see that I was doing this? So I'm not going to advertise that publicly necessarily, but more of the people in my, who do you invite to your event? I will break this down for you. So I'll show you my Tone Up Your Routine. So this one just started. I'm going to take you through my boot camp as well. Some of the coaches who are in that boot camp are in here, are on here, which I'm really glad about. By the way, kudos to you guys jumping on. I think a lot of people are half committed and interested a lot of times in life, and they don't actually freaking do it. So for you, spending your time on here tonight and investing time in your business is what you need to do. And that's what Sarah and I have done for so long. We've showed up, we've gone 2 feet in, and we've implemented. I think so many people choose to not show up or at least catch the recording, whatever, but that's just like full conviction. Sarah Morrison had an awesome live video on that the other day. So what I do to invite is I invite from my list. So again, oh, I did not want to go to edit. My bad. It's because it already started. I don't think I can invite to it. I can't. That's okay. There's a thing up here that says who you can invite, and then it'll come up, and you can invite anyone or you can invite your Facebook list. And I have a bunch of different lists going on, potential coaches, potential challengers, all of my new friends, whatever. But I want to show you these videos. Subscribe to my YouTube. You'll be able to see it. This is the golden nugget to my business. Hands freaking down. And it's gold for new coaches as well, that don't know how to communicate and articulate necessarily what a boot camp is or the price or objections. So it eliminates word vomiting, if that makes sense. You can be more interested in your private conversations than interesting, and this is where they get all of the facts. So here's video number 1, and you guys can go watch this. It's on my YouTube, and it's about what it is, but it's not just what any boot camp is. I'm not going to get lazy with this. I could easily reuse every single video, but I don't want to. My routine boot camp is different than a no scroll boot camp, right? My no scroll boot camp is different than You Are More Than Rubies boot camp. My You Are Worth More Than Rubies boot camp is different than the Unfunk Yourself boot camp, right? Like, I really want to teach and show and tell them why they need this group, but not why they need it, why I need it, why I needed it, what it's done for me, and how I'm going to be in there too because it's something that I crave. And so that's the conviction I get to share in this number 1 video. So this video is talking about routine, how when you have a solid routine, you're less likely to procrastinate. When you have a good routine, you feel better about life, right? So that's what I talk about in this video, but I also talk about, by the way, a boot camp is virtual. You're going to be in a community of supportive people and whatever. Then what I do is if I make a post on social media and someone messages me and says, hey, I want more information, great. I'm going to tag you on a video. Let me know after you watch that. And then tell me what your current fitness and nutrition looks like. Bam, easy, right? So if you are traveling, if you are with family, if you don't want to be on your phone all the time, maybe you put in an hour of recording videos, and then that saves you so much time in the long run because all you do is you just tag people under it, right? So if I were to click my video, it has had 135 views. I'm not the only one tagging people in this video. Some of my coaches are too, which is exactly what I want. This is why I make this. It's not just for me, right? So that's huge, you guys, that 135 people have seen this. That's really good. And then I go to Tone Up Your Routine video number 2. And this is objections. I'm talking about lack of confidence, fear, time, and money. Yes, you have the time. Yes, you can afford it. And yes, you deserve to be the healthiest and happiest. And no one regrets getting healthier. I talk about how people normally fear a failing, right? That they have a lack of confidence that they can actually follow through with this. And how many people have messaged me and they're like, spot on, that's exactly how I feel right now. And they're like, I'm in. I'm so tired of quitting. I'm so tired of giving up. So then I relate to them in this video, and that is one that I recreate new each and every single time I have a new group. This is the only video that I reuse, and that's how to get started, because how to get started with a all access. So what I do in this one is I take them through what Beachbody On Demand is. So you can see right here, I talk about that. I go through the nutrition guides. I talk about Shakeology. I talk about how Shakeology is not like anything else. It's not a weight loss shake. It's not a protein shake. It's your daily vitamins. It doesn't have artificial flavorings in there. It is good for you. It's not a magic shake. It's not going to make you lose weight, but it's going to make you feel pretty good. And then I talk about the 160. That's how you get started. And this is the game changer. They're like, I'm in. How many of you get nervous about sending the price? How many of you feel awkward sending the price? How many of you don't know how to transition into sending the price? Well, if they watch video 1, they go to video 2. And after video 2, they go to video 3. Bam, done. And then guess what you're doing behind the scenes? Building a freaking relationship. You're not worrying about the details of the what. You're actually talking to them about the why. And that's where you dig deeper. Pretty cool, right? So that's been game changing. And if you were to go look at my one right now, my no scroll one, I need to get going and moving because I haven't tagged a lot of people on that one yet because this boot camp right here just started. So that's why I need to transition into my other one. I need to post more about it and all those kinds of things. So let me take you into my boot camp. I want you guys to think about this. Everything you know, they don't. And you have been in this for however long, but you need to think about, I think about as a teacher, where I'm like, dang, like it comes second nature to me now, right? Like how to meal prep, how to do this, all this kind of stuff. And what if like they don't know anything? They're just starting. So if you think about, I need to go bare bones on this one. I need to like straight up teach them every single thing. So the first thing we do is we do welcome. Lisa, these are so fun. Lisa like welcomed like 1,000 people in here. It's so awesome. It's just a testament of how, so I prep them. If I'm teaching a lesson to students, they need to know what they're going to be learning. They need to know what's going on. They need to not, I think challengers feel nervous is probably their number one feeling, right? So if they're feeling nervous, how can you make them not feel nervous? Give them competency. Competency creates confidence. Competency is you teaching them how to set up for success. Teach them competence. Teach them the what, and then they're going to feel so good going into your challenge group. So I talk, hey, prep week starts tomorrow. We're going to be learning about meal prepping because that's what they're going to be nervous about, right? How to take your measurements. We're going to learn about the containers, Shako recipes, all these things, you guys, that they don't know. Even how to find a pinned post, right? By the way, it's here if you can see it. And then prep week. This was awesome. So this is day 2 of prep week. I'll have to find day 1. Share a selfie and answer these questions. So I just say, hey, before we dive in, we have to know why or what our why is. Make sure to check day 1. So I tell them to go look for that one and then really put some thought into why you want to be successful in this challenge group. Your homework, comment below and share a picture with your answers. So give us a short paragraph of yourself, right? Like all the stuff, like gave them examples of it. And this is what's so incredibly cool about this is that one, I posted in there too. I wrote, look, I'm right here with them. I'm in the trenches. If you expect people to do things, you better be doing them too. I always think about this when you welcome a new coach to the team page, do you say welcome to the group? I remember the coolest thing when I became a coach, there were like, I felt like millions of comments of welcome to our team. If I expect people to comment below on my coach welcomes, I better be posting and commenting on their coach welcomes, right? So it's the same thing with challenge groups, you guys. If you expect people to do this, you better be doing it too. And yeah, it does take time. It does. But you should be spending more time in your challenge groups and inviting than scrolling the newsfeed and in your team pages. And that was a gut check I had to have this week for myself of where should my time be spent? Freaking in my challenge group, not anywhere else. in my challenge group, and then inviting. So I talk about me and I talk about our goals. Then what we do is, why are you in this challenge group? And then what's your goal for the week? What's your goal for 30 days? What's your goal for 60 days? What's your 90-day goal? And then you want to know what else takes time? When you go and comment under everyone's thing. I sit there and I go, I am not getting up until I have commented below on every person's post. Does that take time? Yes, it does. But it's helped me build a stronger relationship with them. And I'm really, really proud of that. So be engaged in your challenge group. They invested in here. They are waiting for you to show up. I have had challenge groups that have bit the dust. They were not good. They weren't good at all. But then this one I feel so good about. And if I'm the only one that comments under like below their posts, then great. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done in here. I have been really resourceful on here. They did a contract, and I really, really loved that one. I'm going to try to find it. Let me see. This was cool too. We did a jar challenge. This is Tess's, Lisa's challenger that made her jar, and we made jars for different things. So it doesn't have to be about weight loss. It could be about not hitting snooze. If you don't hit snooze, put a marble in the jar. If you get your workout done, put a marble in the jar. If you've eaten for every healthy meal, put a marble in the jar. But you can do one for pounds if you want. I'm not looking to use weight loss, right? So not everyone's looking for weight loss or inches. Maybe it's saying one nice thing to someone, put it in the jar. And that was just a fun activity that we had in our group, that they were able to do it. Just teaching them how to meal prep. So with this post is on how to do that. So setting goals with meal prepping, all this stuff. It's a lot to read, but it's all good, you guys. Like, they want to feel competent in here. And then if they're like, I'm feeling stuck on this. Oh no, hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Sorry guys, it's freezing a little bit. There we go. Going a little bit quick. I talk about the calorie bracket. What calorie bracket are you in for the meal plan? And then here are some resources from Beachbody that they can do that. Be resourceful. We have so many things. Containers, how do they work? And understanding, this is all in the back office, you guys. You can Google it too. You can find really cool things. Here's our commitment letter. This was the first thing that we did on the first day. And they had to watch a video. Oh, I lost it right here. Explains what you can expect over the next 21 days of their challenge. This one's specifically 14 days, but 21 days in general. And then this commitment letter, they had to sign at the bottom. It's like, I will follow this program. I will do this. I will do this. And then it was just so freaking cool to see how awesome. Look at them. They would sign it on here because they didn't have a printer. But just making that commitment. And I'm going to go back at the end of the week with their commitments. Like being like, are you honoring yourself? Doing challenger highlights, shout outs, right, from previous ones. This is cool. Lisa did a great job shouting out Megan and her meal prepping and giving her confidence. Foods to stay away from. That was a challenger. She's like, what food should I stay away from? And I'm like, oh, you are so smart. I'm going to post this in the group because if you have this question, everybody else has this question, right? How to make Shakeology. And then saying, hey, what recipe are you going to try? Comment below. Share daily tips and nutrition facts on Shakeology. I remember I did this once in a boot camp and someone was like, I need to go find that in the store. And I was like, no, it's in your shake. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, right? I did this. What time are you meal prepping? What are you going to do? And then we did this one. So meal prep resources, how to take measurements. And I took videos too. It's all on my YouTube. And then we were putting some nice notes to ourselves on the mirror because the challenger sent me that and that's what they were doing. Here's put the jar, and it was like maybe number of workouts, healthy meals, self-love affirmations, wins of the day, times you hit snooze or didn't hit snooze, all that kind of stuff. One word, how are you feeling? You guys, I would say that this is my most proud post in this group, and I'm going to tell you why. Not because my transformation's on here, but because of what it's done. And I have to be honest with you guys that I was feeling like I didn't have a lot of challengers getting results. I had a lot of coaches getting results, but not challengers. And I was like, why is that? I taught them how to take measurements. It's on my YouTube. It's right here. Pretty cool that 125 people have seen that, right? That they're taking their measurements. But this is what I required. You need to send me your before picture and you need to send me your measurements. My message inbox was flooded with pictures and nerves and measurements and just like people feeling defeated. And it was awesome because I said, you go, girlfriend, you are starting and you are going to rock this. And I remember how I felt when I first did that, and you are going to be so proud of yourself by the end of this challenge. And I feel like because they sent me these, that they're going to be even more determined to get that after photo, right? And it has been awesome. And maybe you do that, but man, and when I didn't see a challenger send it to me, I messaged them and I said, hey, still waiting on your measurements. I know it can be scary, but I'm here for you. Please send them to me. And people are like, oh, sorry, I'm getting to you these late. Like, it's like a kid with homework, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Here they are, which was really, really cool. So I did a welcome video. You guys, I'm just in here. And so are these people. And you know how challenge groups look. You know all that stuff. So we do a daily check-in. And I've actually been sharing, and I've been doing daily prizes. You can get shaker cups on Beachbody on your Beachbody website. Literally, I accidentally ordered 48 or something. Like literally, it was like 12 boxes arrived at my door. Maybe it was like 100. I don't know. It was like the most on accident. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do with all these shaker cups? I'm gonna fill them with stuff and send it to them each day. We did a post today on what do you want to get 1% better at today? And most of everybody put water, that they wanted to work on water. So right here is like, what do you want to get better at today? So then what I did is I added these water charts, the water warriors, and then they were tagging each other like, hey, and rooting each other on to keep going, which was awesome. Anytime a challenger messages me a victory, I tell them to go post it in the group, which has been cool. We're going to be doing a random act of kindness throughout the week. So it's not just nutrition and fitness. So here's a daily reflection that we've been doing. And I'm not following a script. I'm not following, let's do this same check-in every day. I decided to share my personal development for each day. So the challenge of the week, again, random act of kindness. Wow, Tuesday went down. I just have to say you are on my mind. When I find myself wanting to be lazy, cut corners, or make excuses, I think of all of you who choose to show up anyway. Thank you for that. Something I was reading about today, amplifying your relationships. Doesn't that sound awesome? True lifelong happiness comes from connecting and loving others. And it's the best when we figure out how to do that as soon as possible. Their homework was this. What defines a happy and deeply connected relationship to you? What would you have to do to improve and deepen the relationships you have with people in this area? And then I'm going to do this one each day is what was your win for the day? Because those are really awesome. Like they'll be like, oh, I didn't do this. Or like, I said no to this and it's been really, really cool. And then this is what I thought of. I want to teach them how to be resourceful. I'm a very resourceful person. Just like you guys as coaches, be resourceful. You're frustrated your challenge group suck. You're frustrated you're not hitting Success Club. You're frustrated that you're not at Emerald or Diamond or whatever. Have you tried going to YouTube? Have you tried going to Google? That's what I do every single day. So I was thinking, I want them to fall in love with healthy eating. So I said, go to Pinterest, type in healthy 21-day fix meals and share a link with the one you're excited to try this week. And then so what they're doing in the comments, and I went too, I shared my stuff. And then I think that's key. And then they're sharing things they're really excited about. So then tomorrow morning, I'm going to go comment below on everyone's stuff and put them in a drawing on Wheel Decide. If you have not used Wheel Decide, this is what it is. And you type in their names, and then it'll pick a winner. So I would type in their names down at the bottom, and then I click this, and then you guys, it could even be a note and a thing of Energizer, request bar, whatever. But you can add in their names down here, which is really, really cool. And I've been using that. So that's our daily reflections. I'm just going to think about things each day of, like, hey, what was something you learned in your workout today? Like, I'm just going to ask them questions throughout their day. And then we've been messaging, we've been doing all of that. But I think you being present in here you being active in there, you commenting below on everyone's thing makes it about them and not about you. So the secret sauce to me is planning and not winging this, right? And I don't have scripts for every day because I know I'm going to be in there every day. I'm not trying to line up against this perfectionism of a perfect post and schedule it and then let it run on its own. I've done that and it doesn't work. I think, you know what? I'm just going to be in there. I'm just going to see what they need. I'm going to talk about what happened to me that day. And I'm just going to be there. And because someone was asking me if I had a script for my routine group. And I was like, I don't. I'm actually, my prep is pretty much what I use all the time. I talk about meal prepping, calorie brackets. I talk about containers, measurements. I talk about what to expect in the group and what they are expected to do, which is check in, interact, right? But I decided, and again, if you are busy and you don't have a lot of time, then fine, but write it out. But don't think having this like insane, awesome, amazing script like is going to do the trick. I simply think you being in there and being like, today was the struggle. Today was whatever. So how many posts I do in there? I always have a morning post, and my morning post is, like today was on a random act of kindness. And then yesterday was a motivational video of Inky Johnson and just getting excited for them. And then I always do a check-in at night. A daily reflection is what I call it. And then I posted the water thing today, what's your how do you want to get 1% better today? And 99% of everybody put water. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to add water charts in here. And I'm going to be like, post your selfie of your water in there. And then tomorrow, I'll just like really think about what I need, if that makes sense. But I'm going to commit to doing that 2 posts. And then you guys, here's the deal. You run your day or it runs you. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, I scroll the newsfeed a lot. And I've been working on it lately. I used to not. And now I don't know why. I've like made it a habit. It sucks. So I was like, okay, if I catch myself scrolling the newsfeed, I'm like, how is this adding value to your life? That's what I yell out. And then I'm like, where should I spend my time? In your power hour, I really believe you can effectively build an insane business in 1 hour. And if you can give more time, awesome. But if you're giving so much time and nothing is happening, that's because you're not spending time in the right areas and you are wasting time. So on my tracker sheet, I wrote post number 2 and pick a winner. Those were my 2 objectives in my Work Your Challenge group today. So to pick my winner, I had to comment below on everyone's daily reflection from yesterday. And then I had to make a post number 2 today. And then that was my, and then a check-in. Those were my 3 objectives. And if I got those 3 done, I would feel successful. And if I didn't have anything else to add that day, that's okay. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. But I knew commenting below on everyone's thing and then picking a winner, like that took time, you guys. That probably took 20 minutes alone. And so then I went on. I was like, okay, what am I going to do for the rest of my power hour? So my event pages are golden. Attractive marketing, curiosity marketing is huge. So anytime anyone likes stuff, like I'll comment below. I just did a transformation. I talked about my dog. And then I haven't talked about a group for a while, so I need to do that. And tomorrow, I think I went live the other day about it. This is a breadcrumb to one that's going to happen in a little bit. So it's a breadcrumb of I made it my goal to have self-care in. And then I was talking about I was struggling and in a funk in the last few weeks as far as my faith goes. That's talking about 2 challenge groups that are coming up, but they don't know it yet. So that's how I like breadcrumb. I like kind of share my story a little bit. Here is one about getting results, but I'll go in there. I'll go in there soon and make sure that I can get it done. And then my event pages, I add my group. So here I'll show you how I invite them. I can go to my, this one is really sad right now because tomorrow I'm going No Scroll Boot Camp is what it's called. Ooh, where is it? Oh, I know. Hold on a second. Let me show you. You can link it to your like page. That's what I did. Let me see here. And then, so here's my no scroll boot camp. How you can invite is if you go to share and I go to invite friends, you're out of invites. This was a cool story. Anyway, normally there you can pick your Facebook group friends list or whatever. And then I have my videos here, down here, common fears, start here, how to get started. And then I have all of those. So then I'm going to give people, someone asked me today, they're like, hey, can I still get in your boot camp? And I was like, yeah, awesome. Let me tag you under a video real fast. And that's what I do too. Urgency with boot camps helps, but you also have to remind yourselves that people don't know what the heck these are. So how can you add value to your groups? Giving challenger shout outs publicly, right? Talking about why you love what's going on in your current one, why you're excited about it, what you're proud of. Start talking about it so people can kind of start to see inside of what it is. Go live and share your phone screen and show people inside of one. People don't know what it is, but also people need more than fitness and nutrition. I think the biggest transition and transformation people go on as coaches is mind and heart. I really think that those are the two things that are the biggest, and that's what's going to happen in your groups. So how can you add value in that way? And that's what I really believe what will happen. Success Club, non-negotiable. It's like getting a workout done. If you are afraid of Success Club, you have to ask yourself why. It's probably because you're feeling incompetent, meaning you're rushed, you don't have a plan, you hate your challenge groups, you are getting lazy, or you're afraid. Like those are all things I just thought of that I have felt before. So I'm assuming if you're not hitting Success Club, you're going, I don't know who to invite. I'm not sure what to do. So when I find myself doing that, I start adding to my network. I try to get out of my head. Then I'm like, maybe I need to make another boot camp. And maybe you're like, oh, it's so much work. But it's not. It's not when you're resourceful. You could easily go live for 2 minutes in your boot camp every day and just talk motivation to people. I was telling Eric today, I was like, Eric, you should talk to people how you feel like you need their support versus you always giving them support. He's like, oh, that's a great idea. So he went live in his group. He's like, guys, I need your support. Like, can you help me? And I'm like, that's a powerful post. Like, you didn't have to plan that. Like, that's real life, right? So with Success Club, you have to have that plan. And if you are utilizing and being resourceful, for me, making an event page saved me time from explaining everything to everyone. This is my boot camp, this is when it starts, this is a common objection, blah, 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 right? I'm word vomiting is what is happening, and it's taking forever, right? If you have like 30 conversations to do that to people, that's going to take freaking forever. And then if you're with your family, you're not going to do it, you're going to push it off, this becomes less of a priority, then it's not going to be fun, you're failing at coaching, and then therefore you're disconnected of, I can't hit my goals. So be resourceful. Make those videos, they scare you, you should do it. And then you're going to be like, I'm going to tag people under there. Well, I don't know who to tag. Well, I'm going to freaking make an awesome post today on Facebook. I'm going to message 10 friends. I'm going to say, hey, I don't know if you saw this, but I have this going on and I thought of you, right? You're going to do that. And you're just going to take insane action. Do you guys have any questions on boot camps or retreats? Or I think you guys should name it something that's you, right? Like that's your style. And then tailor it to what you need in life, and that's going to connect to people. So maybe it's how to ignite fire in your relationship. Maybe it's wedding planning. Maybe it's getting ready for a baby. Maybe it's Cat Moms Unite. Maybe it's, whatever. Do you stick with Facebook usually or boot camps or the app? Oh my gosh, it's so funny because I feel like the app disconnects everybody. But people love it for tracking. So I'm going to try something, and I just thought of this just now, and me saying it out loud means I have to follow through on it, which makes me a little upset because it's going to be a little bit more work. I'm just kidding, but kind of not. That people give the option of, hey, you can be in this tracker to track your stuff, and then our group is happening in Facebook. So then you have two going on at once. And then you can schedule stuff in groups, which is awesome, and on Facebook, which is great. I do schedule my daily check-ins around 10 a.m. And then schedule it for 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I schedule it like 4 hours earlier. And then in the app, what I was finding is that I was scheduling everything and peace out and just logging my stuff for the day, and not following up with everybody. So I went back to Facebook, fell in love with it. And then I had like 3 people reach out to me. They're like, when are you doing the app? When are you doing the app? And I was like, oh my gosh, like I got to go back to the app. And thank goodness the no scroll bootcamp has to go on the app because we're trying to avoid scrolling the newsfeed. But I might try both and give them the option to do both. And it's less work because you don't have to post anything in the app. You could just, that's a tracker. And then our group is happening on Facebook. I know that some people do that. What is the minimum amount of people to have in a group to be successful? People would say a smaller group. Sarah Morrison would say like 30. I always have over 80 because I run it with multiple coaches. I've had groups that have been 200. And honestly, like, I think it's only as successful as how much you're willing to show up in it. And I've had groups that have had 10 people and it sucked. And then I've had groups that have been huge and they've been awesome. I've had medium groups that have been okay. But I really think it's whatever you're willing to give to it and get creative. If people aren't, you need to give them expectations. First day of school as a teacher, I'm not going to say, hey kids, let's learn. I need to teach them how to sit. I need to teach them that they can't get up out of their seat. I need to teach them how to raise their hands. I know that sounds really silly. I need to teach them to not blurt out when I'm talking. Like, you have to teach kids that. So it makes sense that you would have to create expectations for your group. In this group, in that commitment letter, right, I will post every day. I will do this every day. You have to tell them what to expect if you feel like your group is like a flop. Or get another coach in there and get some of their people in there so then multiple people are posting about Shakeology. Because what tends to happen, most of the people are sticking to the free groups. Then they get a couple people on HD and then no one's drinking Shakeology in there and no one's posting in there because people who are not doing this aren't getting results. I am so behind that. They're cheap. And then they want to do the cheap thing. So if you keep offering them the cheap thing, they're going to keep doing the cheap thing. So that's why if I have a free group, it has nothing to do with fitness and health. And then when I transition them and what they're doing, because this is my thing, I pay for this every month too. Why shouldn't they, right? Or why on earth would you have someone commit to the challenge pack and someone who's like, I'm not going to, that's okay, I'll put you in there for free. You have people in there that paid $160 to be in your group, and then you're letting these 10 people get in there. Like, you have to start elevating your thinking so then you're not feeling as bad about it. Because are you doing it? That's like every time a coach comes to me, I'm like, but aren't you doing it? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, then you shouldn't feel bad. So tell them you're in the trenches with them, like that you've been doing this for however long. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel bad about that. And maybe that's why you're not hitting those goals, is because you're kind of like, you know what I mean? I think new coaches should get anyone in at any time. That is like my hands down belief in this. But if you've been a coach for over 6 months, it's time. It is time. It is time to transition. But I always tell my new coaches, I'm going to get anyone and everyone in there because I know the group I'm about to run in there and help you run in there. And I know it's going to be awesome. And I know that everyone, because Eric, I was like, Eric, get everybody into your man cave. I was like, whether they get anything or not, get them in there. And guess what happened? He started posting about his Shakeology. And then this guy started posting about his Shakeology. This guy lost 40 pounds by doing all access in Shakeology. Then this guy saying, hey, what is this, right? The guy who lost 40 pounds, you guys, was a guy who said no to this. He said he didn't want to get the all access. He didn't want to do Shakeology. And then he saw other people getting results, and now he's lost 40 pounds. Guys are so annoying. I think he's lost 40 pounds in like 2 months or something. Anyway, but he said his wife stopped drinking Shakeology, and he's like, I guess I have to lose 60 pounds for her to understand that this actually works. So I started laughing. He was just being sarcastic. But you get what I'm saying? So it's the president. In your groups, how many people are actually doing it, and are you doing it? But plan. You'll feel less stressed, and don't make this like a drag, but also understand your boot camps that's your job. And so what I've been doing is, you guys know this, mainly with recruiting has always been coaches immediately, because that's how I signed up. I've been trying to reverse my thinking, and it's been really hard because I legitimately would say this a month ago. I don't know how to get coaches after they've been challengers. Legit came out of my mouth. And some of you were like, Are you serious? Mine was, I know how to talk about the coaching opportunity. I know how to get coaches started. I know how to do this. But with the challenge, that's because of how much I avoided being awesome in these challenge groups, because I never started that way. And so instead of making excuses, I started owning it and being like, oh my gosh, this is my job. So what I've been doing is challenger route, challenger route, challenger route. And 2 challengers have become coaches this month. I'm very proud of that, by the way, because that is like, that's something that happens for me. It's the opposite. And it's because of they're getting results. I've been spending time with them and all this kind of stuff. So that's been a huge win and victory for me. Since I'm just starting, should I run groups with my coach? Absolutely. 100%. And not all coaches are going to say that. Some coaches are going to say, fly, little birdie. But no, I was someone who didn't have support with my coach. I was someone who started and didn't know anything. And now all of my coaches, you can be in my group at any time. You can invite people to any of my groups. You can use these event pages. They're for you as long as you want. I don't even care if you've been a coach for 3 years. You can, as long as you are feeling good about yourself and you feel confident with these event pages, then guess what happens? They're starting to be like, I got this, Julianne. I'm going to go do my own thing, or I have this success partner I want to run with. And even if they don't, and they still, I'm like, more the merrier. I'm still your coach. I still want to help you get results. I want to help see you rock this. And it's been really cool to do it with my coaches, because then I get to meet their people. And then when they become coaches, I've already known their people. Absolutely. And in our team page, I'm always saying, hey, join my group here, join my group here, join my group here, join my group here. And you're more than welcome to do that. And then again, if you don't have a lot of support, team up with someone. And if you've had groups that have flopped, just trust this process. I had one legitimately, you could see that everyone read it, and no, like every day, it was so bad. It was like a 21-day group at the time, and that's why I don't do 21 day. It was so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even want to post in there. And then that was way back in the beginning. But you just have to trust that you'll get better. And I'm learning too. I was straight up with you guys that challenge groups weren't my thing until like a month ago. They were okay. They were okay. I spent a lot of time planning for them, and then I would schedule everything. And now I'm doing the opposite. I'm just being present in there. And I'm not trying to be the, oh, got it off my list. I don't have to think about it, out of sight, out of mind. That's totally what it was like, because I'm such a red that I just want to get everything done. But I was like, I'm going to be a blue. I'm going to be a blue in there. I'm going to like build relationships in there. And it's been awesome. So I'm here for you, ladies. Thanks for hopping on today. And I just want you to know, like, on Zooms, it can be so overwhelming of like, oh, I have to implement this all. This is what I'm doing wrong. Like one time I was hearing a Zoom and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not doing any of that. We had one last week and I was like, oh, shoot, I'm not doing all that. And I was like, no, wait. I'm going to take one thing from this Zoom, because otherwise I'm going to freaking get overwhelmed. So I just am inviting you to take one thing and implement that well. You can always be doing a million things in this business. Don't burn out. So maybe it's simply like, I'm going to create an awesome boot camp that I'm passionate about. I'm going to stop using free as a crutch. I'm going to start requiring this. And then I bet your demeanor with that is going to change and make an impact of people actually committing. I'm going to sit down and make 3 videos in a row, and I'm going to put them on YouTube. Maybe that's what it is. How do you find content to mastermind your groups? A lot of times, since it's something I'll Google. So the no scroll bootcamp, I found like 10 tips to not scroll the news feed, and I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to implement my little flavor to it. With the routine one, I'm just making it up as I go, because I'm feeling really good about it. And then as far as content goes of ideas, I just think about my life. I just go, what do I need right now? What is like something I've transferred? I was thinking about this. I made this post right here, so I'm probably going to make a boot camp on it. You guys know that pretty filter on Facebook, Snapchat? I always used it, and I always found myself more beautiful in this filter than in real life. This is really mean. All blotches, you can't see it right now, but I'm so serious. I'm really red, and I turn red really easily. And I was finding myself way more attractive in this pretty filter. So I decided half a year ago that I was going to stop using the pretty filter. And then I ended up getting rid of Snapchat, and I now am totally cool with the wrinkles under my eyes and the blotchy skin. I'm not kidding. It took a lot of mindset shift to truly believe this. And this might sound silly to you, but I feel like some of you might can relate to this. Do you always use a filter? Is that where you find yourself beautiful? that would be an awesome boot camp to have. And so I made this Transformation Tuesday. Like, you won't control me filter on Snapchat. Like, no filter on the right. No filter is real life, right? I see some coaches, all of their glamour shots, all of the bright, beautiful skin, right? Like all the stuff. And I'm like, great. Like, you have attractive pictures, but it's not really you. And I told this to someone the other day. I hated getting my I call them glamour shots for hitting elite. Like, I really didn't want to do it because it's not my style. I want to show people that I've built my entire business on using my phone on timer mode on top of a toilet because I had a blank wall behind me. How glamorous. But legitimately, this is how I've built my business, has been on my phone, not paying for crazy awesome pictures. I did have a friend that took pictures of me around Milwaukee, and I'll use them sometimes. But legitimately, most of my pictures have been 100% from my phone and on a timer, and that's that. And I try to find good lighting. So I just, like, I don't need to buy fancy equipment to be successful. And you guys, I don't have anything that's super fancy, like, at all. My phone screen's cracked, actually, and it has been all year. And I'm an elite coach. Like, it's cool. Like, you can totally build a successful business by being you. And that's the best gift that you can ever give yourself, is being you. And so be you in your challenge groups. When you're struggling, tell them. When you're struggling, tell them what the solution, ask for help. But just know that this business is for everybody. And it's crazy to me. I really think that people who aren't successful in this business don't believe in themselves, and they don't go in with both feet. They're in the interested mode versus the committed, meaning if it's convenient, I'll show up. Yes, like, I won't sacrifice this to do this. Like, if you're just someone who's like, I'm going to freaking figure this thing out. That's my relentless heart. I'm going to freaking do this. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. That was always what I've said. I'm going to hit elite, but I don't know how. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a 10-star coach in December, but I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. And it's going to be crazy. And if I miss the date, that's okay. I'm still going to do it. Right? All right, ladies, thanks for hopping on today. You're amazing. And remember, the only thing that will ever separate you in this entire business is you. That's it. All right, you guys, have a good night.